So when we went to Norway, we didn't want to flaunt money or nothing, or we wanted to do it proper, correct?
Yeah.
Climb everything, carry everything, put in the physical work, you know?
Yeah.
We had no idea really what we were getting into. We were just kind of like pack the bags and let's grab the athletes and see what we can get.
Yeah, at the time we had like one skier and one snowboarder that we needed to activate, and you can only do that much in Xdubai, you know?
Lofoten is amazing. I mean, you have the ocean and then these mountains that just shoot out of the water just straight up, you know? And
it's 1,200 peaks, I think.
Yeah.
Just straight
Really?
out. Yeah, straight out of the ocean.
Oh, today this is our mountain.
Our first day there, we learned, man, this is like 3 or 4 hours of hiking just to get to the top. And man, we had no idea. I mean, we packed our bags. The
26, 27 kilo each.
Way too heavy.
Oh, yeah?
And so we're dying. After that, man, we learned. We learned only to take the necessities, you know?
You know where we're going?
Holy shit. Oh. I seriously want to jump.
And man, it was a motley crew as well. You know, we had Morgan and myself, and then a guy named Sebastian, a time-lapse / photographer.
Assalamu alaikum.
A little bit of an outsider was Zeryab. Zeryab's from Yemen. He's never seen snow before.
It's so fun. It is so fun.
So we're landing in Sweden, and of course it had been snowing, and they had plowed the runways, and so it's kind of like this dirty kind of piled up snow on the sides, and he's looking out the window like concerned, and he's like, what happened? Was there an accident here? What's going on? I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, what's all the foam on the sides of the runway? Was there an accident? It's like, no, it's snow, you know? What's been the hardest part of the whole trip?
Just for me, I'm coming from a very different place, climate, than here. It's super cold. My body's not, I think it's not used to this.
So Henry was obviously only 8 or 9 when you guys went there?
Yeah, at the time he was 8, I think.
So how did he handle, I mean, you know, a kid really having to hike all those hours every day, you know? Did he have any kid moments, or he was pretty impressive?
I mean, honestly, he did amazing. The hiking, he kind of put his head down and moved up the mountain. I mean, his dad was with us, so he helped a lot, you know. He's always mic'd up, so sometimes you would hear at the very top of the mountain him kind of encouraging him that he could do it.
Mul nagu mõnes kohas on see koorikavaas ja mul läheb see kogu vastu.
Aga hoia parem jala peal, keha ja üleval parem jala peal, see on hästi.
So yeah, Henry did amazing. You have Mattson, who he's an Olympic park rider, you know, so he had never been to the backcountry, but it was like no big deal. Like he lived back there, you know. He just made himself at home, and yeah, just the whole experience with those guys was just amazing. Like you didn't really have to push them very hard. They were willing to push themselves, you know. I mean, there were a lot of really epic moments and really tough moments, you know. I mean, getting up every morning and getting going, you know, before the sun's up, and then your legs are just dying from the day before, right? And you got to get up and get the gear ready and get out the door so that we can make it for the light.
Normally in this location you have rain every single day, and even if it was raining in the morning, we knew that if we're lucky, then 3 hours later it's going to be great. But if we're sitting down in a house, then that means that we lost out on that.
Yeah, boys.
So it was more about like, we got nothing else to do than playing guitar and looking at the animals. Like just get up and climb and figure out if we're lucky enough.
Ice shoes, ice hacks. It's about to get hardcore.
Yeah. So where were you guys heading? All the way here. So the guys are gonna go up there and ride from the ledge, ridge along the ledge down to there through those ice boulders. And Gerry and Morgan are gonna film from down there. I'm gonna be right here taking stills, the long lens. This is the view across Lofoten Island. Islands, as you see, there's plenty of them. And Ziriab is back there with the drone base.
I can't remember, it was like the second or third day in, we figured out that we could slide down the mountain.
On your butts.
Yeah, like imagine we're like little kids, you know, just sliding down with the gear.
I think I've actually seen some videos of it.
Yeah, and it's not even that the sliding was so fun. It was, I think that we were so happy that we didn't have to carry the gear back down, you know?
Xdubai, defying limits.
Since I've been here, you've always walked into every project we've done with a mental video in your head already. Did you walk into that one like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things that I do differently than a lot of directors is I shoot the edit, right? And so this is what helps us to be able to come in and accomplish things a lot faster, to be honest. Get one from just right up here with a pan all the way down, and then one down below, because that'll look really cool with that backdrop. You know, we talk beforehand on what exactly we want to get done and want it to look like, and once we have that, then there's no need to shoot a whole lot of extra stuff, you know. And so that's how we approach most projects, and it helps us to keep costs low and keep time and personnel low as well. Really, it'd be more like 4 hours of climbing for like 30 seconds at the most footage.
Still worth it.
Still worth it. Best job I ever had.
It was actually the last day of Niklas. We had an amazing jump built in the craziest location ever. Like if you slipped down or like you dropped something, you would have to pick yourself up like probably 500-600 meters below. So we built a whole in-run, beautiful landing. The landing again was super steep and probably a good 400 meter long before you could stop, which means 400 meters is roughly an hour and 20 minutes climb back to the jump. So like you're basically only getting 2-3 hits in a day.
What's about to happen?
We've been climbing for a while. We've been digging for a lot. And now finally we have like one of the most epic setups ever. Mattson is going to launch from here, land really far down there, and hopefully spin 3 rotations. If my calculations are right.
How pumped are you?
Niklas, he landed his second, he knew his trick already, he landed that on his second take. And then Henry had 3 jumps. On his third jump, he wanted to do a 720, I think, 2 rotations. He just kind of over-rotated slightly, landed hard and slid for probably 100 meters down. And we could hear he was already crying or sobbing a little bit, you know? And we had to have like a full rescue. And we realized that he had a small fracture on his leg. He was just in pain, you know, but there was nothing like sticking out, you know what I mean? And we actually carried him for a long time.
I wish it was 1 year ago, Henry. He was so much tinier.
There was a helicopter coming from mainland Norway, came, picked him up. Really cool rescue, actually.
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, it's huge, this rescue helicopter, right? And they just like nose it right into the snow.
You hurt your ankle?
Yeah.
While skiing?
Yeah.
Was it a large trauma?
And yeah, they picked up both Henry and his father. They flew them to mainland. It was pretty full on, but
It sounded pretty under control and everything. Those guys knew exactly what they were doing, right?
yeah, and I think every one of us has been in situations enough to kind of like figure out what to do, and it was pretty easy. That trip to Lofoten was probably the thing that changed everyone's kind of mentality, not only towards a project, but also like what is really nice in life, you know?
Yeah.
Like getting out, enjoying the nature,
the real
and like
way, yeah.
doing things like that became so much more important after that trip for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
Ed!
I have my rubber boots just bent over.
Yeah, right.
Kjører på. Morgan, you have to keep your word. We caught the whales. Ah!